Good morning. Morning. All right. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Well, welcome, everyone. I am Julio Ramirez, professor in structural engineering and one of the co-PIs of this project, RETH, which was funded through the New Horizons initiative of the Provost with support from the Provost, the College of Engineering, and the College of Science. And we are extremely pleased to be here, and I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce my other co-PIs. I would like to invite Jay Melosh from Earth and Atmospheric and Planetary Sciences, to Antonio Bobet from Geotechnical Engineering and Civil, and Professor Shirley Dyke from Mechanical and Civil Engineering. And I said it in the right order, 75% mechanical, 25% civil. And I also like to introduce somebody that most of you have been receiving emails from, and I think it's a good opportunity for her to introduce herself, Dr. Anahita Modi Rasari. With her, this would not be possible. I can tell you that I'm nominally the person that's supposed to be organized. She's my co-organizer in 25%. So thank you, Anahita. And other members of the team are here, graduate students and postdoctoral researcher, Amin Magare. Can you stand up real quick and just so they can see you? And Ed is here, he's a PhD student. And Daniel was here a minute ago. Oh, he's all the way back there manning something there. I hope it's not texting, right? So anyways, let me first thank all of you that came from various places, a number of friend institutions, and also industry and government agencies. We are very happy to have you here today. And we look forward to a very productive and exciting discussion. I think that this topic is one of those that, as they say, they make your imagination soar, right? Extraterrestrial, long-term, resilient habitats. So let's start the discussion. And I also like to thank the Provost Office in the colleges of Engineering and Science. This workshop would not have been possible without their strong, very strong support. Thank you. And I would like to invite them to give us a few remarks. First, our Vice Provost for Academic Affairs, Peter Hollenbeck, Professor in Biology.
Okay, sound check. Am I audible in the back? Okay. Well, good morning. To my Purdue colleagues, hello again. And to our guests, welcome to Purdue University, the proud alma mater of 24 NASA astronauts. We're delighted to welcome guests who hail from, I want to do some shout outs here, a number of universities, including Northwestern, Harvard, Vanderbilt, Tennessee Technological, the universities of Connecticut, Maryland, Mississippi, Padua, and the Mayo Clinic. We have representatives of public agencies, including NASA, JAXA, Defense Research and Development Canada, and of course, space settlement design competitions. And from industry, including Caterpillar, Construction Robotics, Honeybee Robotics, Paragon Space Development, SC Solutions, and Sierra Nevada. And I mention these different home bases because their number and diversity remind us of the interdisciplinary global nature of the grand challenge that you're all here to discuss on our campus. The establishment of permanent human settlements outside of our home planet. How cool is that? And I say it out loud because a lot of you take it for granted because you think about it for a living, and I'm just here to tell you the rest of the scientific community in our society does not take it for granted. So why are we here? As you just heard, this meeting has been organized by Purdue's interdisciplinary RETH project, that is Resilient Extraterrestrial Habitats Project, which was established last year through the Provost's New Horizons program. This is a program the provost pushed out to challenge and support Purdue faculty to think anew, to be boldly innovative, and really to pursue potentially transformative ideas and projects. Over time, we expect these efforts to generate new academic programs here and to have national and we hope international impact. It's fitting that the RETH project is the first awardee of this program, since exploration, I think we could say, is fundamental to our land-grant university program. To us, it seems especially fitting that the RETH project and this meeting are here at Purdue. Among our cadre of alumni astronauts, we count Gene Cernan, the most recent man to walk on the moon, and Neil Armstrong, who was, of course, the first. We're all reminded, well, by the calendar and by the release of First Man, the new film about Armstrong, that we're rapidly approaching the 50th anniversary of the day in 1969 when Armstrong took that extraordinary small step onto the lunar surface. For people of a certain age, let's say my age, that was a formative life event. It was a fundamental event that drove us into our own lives and careers in science. Now, although I personally got off track somewhere and turned into a neuroscientist, nonetheless, like so many of my generation, I have remained over the decades closely attuned to what's going on, to the developments in space science and exploration. So for my timeline, from Apollo to Skylab, Voyager, the Space Shuttle, Hubble, ISS, New Horizons, the Mars and Jupiter missions, I've followed them all. So if anyone here this morning is from NASA, great website, and we really do look at it. So I know that Neil Armstrong and many others, including perhaps some folks in this room, have been thinking for years ahead to the moment we're at right now. 10 years ago, Armstrong said, and let me quote, "The goal is far more than just going faster and higher and further. Our goal, indeed our responsibility, is to develop new options for future generations, options in expanding human knowledge, human exploration, human settlements, and resource development outside in the universe around us." And here we are, no pressure. My friends and colleagues, whatever aspect of this grand challenge you work on, whether it's materials, construction, robotics, energy, physics, biology, behavioral science, we applaud the work that you've chosen. And I like to think that Neil would be very pleased to see you here today. So once again, let me welcome you to Purdue and wish you a productive and stimulating 2 days. Thank you.
Next, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our Associate Dean for Research in the College of Engineering, Dr. Melba Crawford. Melba?
And a fellow colleague from civil engineering. That's right. So, you know, when I heard about this initiative, this New Horizons project, I guess I wasn't too surprised with Jay Malash. He's been looking out at space for a very long time and been very, excuse me, inspiring throughout his career. But then I wondered, you know, the rest of this team must have just had Netflix and been watching, you know, The Martian or something. Because, you know, there's so many aspects of it that fit that. You have to have the structures, and he didn't have very outstanding, very impressive structures. You have to have food, and it's great to see that food science is now involved because potatoes don't, you know, last, that they get boring after a while. So the other thing that, you know, as the group has evolved, well, certainly in terms of structures, you know, we look at the team, and it's going to be a harsh environment. And so who better than our earthquake team, who's, you know, been involved with structures for a very, very long time. And then bringing in some of the other aspects through robotics, and then, you know, recognizing food science, I believe, is involved again. Oh, no, it's horticulture. I'm sorry. That's involved here, I believe, today. So I think that, you know, this is a real exciting thing. The other thing that, you know, we think of Purdue and we think of space, but as, you know, was mentioned earlier, we think mostly of astronauts, and we think of them, mostly in terms of walking in space, mostly in terms of being, maybe the commander, but they were also, project scientists throughout all this time. So we have been training astronauts in many different ways. But it's not just, the astronauts that Purdue's been engaged with over space, and so that's in space. So I think that's another exciting thing about this project because it broadens the engagement. Many of you may not know that the university for a very long time, outside of science and engineering, has been involved in space. The current dean of ag actually worked on a project for NASA on the space shuttle. And food science was historically involved for a few years. So I think that, this is another opportunity to reinvigorate and expand that community. So, on behalf of the College of Engineering, I'm really excited and looking forward to the, moving forward in this arena. I think, you're sort of first in the game relative to a lot of other places, really congealing around this idea and trying to do something significant. So I think it's exciting, and I look forward to seeing what's coming out of this particular initiative.
Yes, and that's one of the things that you see in these kinds of topics that work at the boundaries of multi-discipline, and that is the support from both the College of Science as well as the College of Engineering, but it's actually broader than that. So one of our goals in this workshop is to expand the number of disciplines that get involved in this area. But also as part of the RETH project, for us it's very important to envision how would our undergraduate students and graduate students need to be educated to be able to work in this arena and participate in the future exploration of space. So with that in mind, I'd like to introduce now the Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Education from the College of Science, Beth Taparowski.
Okay. All right, you can just leave that here. Well, thanks. I'll be brief because I'm last, and I know you probably want to get going on your agenda for today. But on behalf of the College of Science, I'd like to welcome you to the RETH workshop and to Purdue. As you already heard, this initiative began as a proposal from Drs. Bobette, Malash, Dyke, and Ramirez to engage multiple colleges here on the campus to explore how human habitats may be constructed in extreme environments. And namely, we're focused mainly on the moon and Mars because that's where our expertise here at Purdue lies. But as you can see from the full lineup of speakers and participants, that this idea has captured the attention of many across the country and the globe. And I hope that your ideas and your enthusiasm for this project can really move this idea forward over the next couple of days. Importantly, I think this initiative and this program has been designed to involve undergraduate and graduate students in the research that is involved in actually assessing the elemental nature of the environments that were being considered for habitation, and also in the design of new materials for constructing shelters suitable for supporting human, animal, and plant life in these extreme environments. Purdue has invested capital not only in the RETH project, but also in several other initiatives over the last couple of years, and importantly, at least 3 life science institutes that we hope can get involved in this project as well. What we would like as a result of this workshop is to sort of take advantage of these other strengths of Purdue and to generate an even broader interdisciplinary effort to address your goals. So I hope you all have a productive couple of days. And like Melba and I'm Peter, I look forward to the results of this exciting workshop. Thank you.
I would like to invite you one more time to thank the three institutional representatives here today and thank them for all their support towards making this workshop possible. Thank you.